here. This hour, cops and the FBI are desperately searching for a 2-year-old little girl in Gary, Indiana. Her name is Jada Justice. Last seen with her babysitter on Tuesday night. Babysitter's name, Angelica Castillo. She claims the little girl was kidnapped from her car when she ran into a gas station to pick up some milk and cigarettes. Well, family members, cops, they aren't buying that story. They actually took the babysitter into custody, and still, there's no sign of little Jada. Joining us now to talk about this, John Lusich, former criminal investigator. Always good to have John on our show. Also with us, Pat Brown, criminal profiler. All right, John, as an investigator, from what you've seen, what you know of the babysitter story, do you buy her story?
No, absolutely not. You know, it's unbelievable with how many kids are missing these days from their parents and from babysitters. You know, and I'm sure the cops are doing that. What they need to start doing is taking a look at all the area to try and identify any cameras in her entire path to see if they can get a shot, to see if that little child was even in that car before she even went to that gas station. Because according to everything I've read so far, nobody saw anybody around the car or even in the car. Okay,
what's the likelihood that there's surveillance cameras around that gas station convenience store there?
Well, you know, as every day goes by, the chance of being caught on a camera is increasing dramatically because more and more people are investing in these type of technologies because the price has come down so far. You know, one of the girls, I believe was the one with the baby, excuse me, the church worker who actually killed that little girl that came out, they actually had her skipping down the street.
Yeah, that's right.
Somebody, so these things are increasing even in households.
Cantu, yeah.
Forget about commercial institutions.
The Sandra Cantu case there in Tracy, California. Let's bring in Pat Brown, criminal profiler. Pat, I know we have to start with the babysitter. Last person to see little Jada. What do you think of her story?
It's not too. It's not too believable, Mike. That's for sure. She was in that store such a short period of time. We're talking about cigarettes and milk. I'm sorry, I can go into a store, grab that milk container, walk up, say, give me those cigarettes. I'm going to be in there, what, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes max, walk out the front door. Are we really going to believe that from that moment in time, somebody pulled up, saw that 2-year-old girl, jumped out, grabbed her, and ran away? Don't think so.
Okay, she's not in custody anymore. We're talking about the babysitter. Pat, let me stay with you. As you look at this case, what are you seeing here as far as motive from a babysitter? This is, and this is a family member. This is a cousin of Jada's mom, and they say the trusted babysitter. Obviously not so much anymore, but go ahead, Pat, what are you seeing?
Right. Usually when young children of that age go missing or end up dead, it has something to do with a guy in the house. It has to do with a stepfather. It has to do with a boyfriend, some guy around the house that does not have a particular attachment, an emotional attachment to that child, and the child is just kind of a pain in the neck. And if there's drugs or drinking going on, who knows? The person could be upset with the child and do something stupid to grab them angrily and accidentally kill them, and then we have the girlfriend or the wife who goes along with trying to hide that evidence in order to continue the relationship with the man.
Okay, let's pick up on that point. John, Pat's hit on a couple of things there. I believe there was evidence of drug use at the babysitter's home, correct? And how big of a piece of information is that?
That's going to be a big piece of information. It's going to give the cops more leads to follow up on. You know, people will do things when they're strung out on the drugs that they wouldn't normally do, and people will do things when they're frantic and upset about something. We had a guy in the state of New Jersey that actually shook his baby to death during a Super Bowl game. It's because he got so caught up in the game. Now, when people get so caught up in some situation that they're involved in, they do stupid things, and this cover-up just makes it a lot worse.
And you agree with Pat as far as the boyfriend? Because the boyfriend of the babysitter has some, I wouldn't say suspicious, but some burn injuries.
Right, and, yeah, and all of a sudden, where did those burn injuries come from? And exactly how did he get burned? And these are the questions, but I'll tell you one thing, more often guys are hurting children than women are hurting children.
All right, guys, we'll pick up the conversation after the break. We'll take your phone calls, your questions for our experts. Call in, the number 1-877-TEL-HLN.